Thank you, Mr. Chair. And first and foremost, again, I want to thank you all for being here. You know, that is the purpose of this process, is to hear from voters, constituents, everyday Floridians, because that's how we help make this process better. And that's really what informs us on the needs of Floridians and the needs of our community. You know, as a freshman, you know, when you walk into this process, you don't know anybody. And a lot of the responsibility and a lot of part of the process for us as legislators is to get to know one another. And I can tell you through this process, I have personally had the opportunity to speak with Representative Robinson on a number of occasions, and this bill is something he takes very seriously. I can say that based on my conversations with him, it is not his intent at all to destroy this industry, but it is his intent to make sure that children are protected. And currently, while many of you in this room are doing the right thing, we know that there are people that are not. So that really is the focus of this bill. And I can say that he is taking into consideration, this sadly wasn't the appropriate stop. We have rules that we have to follow, as you can imagine, in this process. And because we're dealing with an Appropriations Committee, this isn't a policy committee. We're making the changes that we heard in our last stop and we've heard in the Senate are the appropriate place for that. But I know that personally, I have sent him an extensive amendment that sets forth what defines attractive to children so you guys can put that into practice in your businesses. I know personally that he is touring facilities, meeting with farmers, working to ensure that that synthesis definition is tight and on point so you can stay in business. And I know that doesn't give you comfort today because you physically can't see that language. But I have faith in this process, and I have faith in Representative Robinson that we are going to get there. He is working diligently to make sure that a monopoly does not occur, and it will not occur on our watch. So all I can say is we are working, he is working diligently to make sure that we have that balance. That is our job as legislators, that we have that balance, that our children are protected, that we don't have those unintended consequences of children having access to that. And we need to close those loopholes, and we need to make sure that's regulated, and we need to make sure we get this definition right. So as he knows, I'm a yes today because I support the work that you're putting into this. And I know that we have to balance the regulation for the children. It's important, and I know you're shaking your heads, but we've got to balance that. We've got to regulate that. We've got to make sure that they don't have access to it because there are bad actors out there. And I know that he's working on getting the rest of it right for you. So I see you shaking your heads, and I'm sorry if I'm letting you down, but I see this one more time, and he knows I'll be a no at the next stop if that amendment's not right. So thank you, Representative Robinson, for the time that you've put into this, and I'll be watching closely.